Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
President Biden orders another 3,000 U.S. paratroopers to Poland as the administration warns Russia could invade Ukraine within the week, possibly even the next couple of days. Rockford's mayor says even though the state's mask mandate is ending, he is staying on high alert when gathering in large groups. He hopes you'll do the same. A comedian's unexpected passing highlights the severity of head injuries. A local doctor says people taking a certain prescription should get checked out no matter the size of the bump. Good evening, I'm Eric Wilson. Mimi Murphy is off tonight. The crisis between Ukraine and Russia is reaching a tipping point. Today, the White House warns a Russian invasion into Ukraine could happen in a matter of days, even during the Winter Olympics. DC's Raquel Martin has more as she keeps you connected to the nation's capital.
Good evening. Well, today, President Biden ordered the Pentagon to send an additional 3,000 U.S. troops to Poland in the face of an invasion into Ukraine. At this point, the White House is calling the situation unraveling urgent. The White House says a Russian invasion into Ukraine could now happen any day.
Russia has all the forces it needs to conduct a major military action.
Friday, National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan warned despite attempts to find a diplomatic solution, U.S. intelligence shows Russian President Vladimir Putin appears ready to strike.
We believe he very well may give the final go order. That is a very distinct possibility.
Sullivan says Russia could deploy airstrikes in coming days. In preparation, the U.S. is downsizing its embassy staff in Kyiv and is urging all Americans to leave immediately.
As soon as possible, and in any event in the next 24 to 48 hours.
In the meantime, the White House says the U.S. and NATO allies are prepared to strike back, not with military force, but using aggressive economic sanctions. Friday, President Joe Biden held a call with transatlantic leaders to discuss the crisis in Ukraine. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki told reporters Friday the president will engage with several world leaders over the weekend. A senior administration official confirms President Biden will be speaking with Russian President Vladimir Putin Saturday morning. For now in Washington, Raquel Martin, back to you.
It appears the search for the next Supreme Court nominee is down to the final four. President Biden says he's examined the backgrounds of all candidates and narrowed the field to the four best. If confirmed, the new justice would succeed Stephen Breyer. He's retiring. The president didn't give any clues, but names that have been floated include Michelle Childs, Ketanji Brown Jackson, and Leandra Kruger. 9 Phoenix police officers are hurt. The suspected gunman and a woman are dead after an hours-long standoff overnight. Police say the incident began after someone shot a woman in a home after 2 a.m. When first responders arrived, an officer was invited into the home and a suspect opened fire. That officer was hit several times but managed to get to safety. Police surrounded the house. A man exited the home holding a baby. The man was handcuffed. Officers moved in on the house. Someone started shooting again from inside. 8 more officers were hurt. The standoff ended hours later. Police found a gunman and a woman dead.
If I seem upset, I am. This is senseless. It doesn't need to happen, and it continues to happen over and over again.
One of the officers is in serious but stable condition. The other 8 are expected to survive. The baby was not hurt. In Chicago, a SWAT situation is underway after several shots are fired at police. It started this afternoon in East Garfield Park. Police say a man fired multiple rounds at officers inside a squad car and ran into a nearby building. Several bullets hit the car. No officers were hurt. SWAT has shut down several streets in the area as they search for the suspect. Police in Freeport search for a pair of shooting suspects who killed a man. This happened last night just before 6. Officers were called to West Dexter Street, where they found a 24-year-old man shot multiple times. That victim was rushed to Freeport Memorial, then airlifted to a Rockford hospital. He died this afternoon. Investigators say the attack is likely gang-related. Now officers are searching for a pair of people they say were involved in that shooting, as well as a witness who hasn't come forward. If you know anything about this incident, contact Freeport Police or State Line Area Crime Stoppers. Investigators released the name of an elderly man killed in a car wreck earlier this month. Police say John Tharp died following an accident on West Creedy Road in the town of Beloit. This happened February 2nd. The 87-year-old passed away at the hospital 5 days later. Investigators have not said what led up to the crash or if anyone else was hurt. We're just a few weeks away from the end of Illinois' mask mandate, but Rockford's mayor says he hopes the community will remain vigilant. Starting March 1st, public places across the state, like grocery stores and restaurants, won't require customers to wear a mask. There are exceptions, like healthcare settings, public transit, and schools. Mayor Tom McNamara says the end of the order does not mean Rockford should stop practicing other COVID protocols.
It's not a time to just sit back and be like, everything's great, it's all back to normal. It's a great time to go out and get vaccinated and absolutely get out, enjoy the restaurants, enjoy the many attractions that Rockford has to offer.
Mayor McNamara says the city does not plan on extending its local mask mandate. Pfizer announces it's delaying its FDA application for a COVID vaccine for children younger than 5. The drug maker says it's holding off on the request as the company waits for more data on the effectiveness of a third dose. The FDA also says it is postponing a scheduled meeting Tuesday to look over the kids' data. In a statement, Pfizer says it expects that data for a third dose to be compiled by early April. A Rockford restaurant permanently closes its doors. Baci's Kitchen served families since 2016. The pizzeria closed Sunday. Nico Castro Giovanni owned Baci's. He tells us restaurants are a family business, and he was happy to open his own operation 5 years ago. But staffing shortages led to fewer hours of operation, and rising food costs and utilities and rent added fuel to the fire. He says it's sad to see the chapter end.
It's not easy, yeah. And I know a lot of people kind of feel my pain. It's not something I want to do, but I think it's a smart decision to do right now, mentally, physically, financially maybe. But yeah, it's hard being in here right now with all this stuff. It's not easy.
Baci's is hosting a liquidation sale this Saturday from noon to 5. Food, wine, kitchen equipment, and other restaurant items will be for sale. Only cash is accepted. A sitcom legend's death highlights the risks associated with head injuries. Earlier this week, Bob Saget's family confirmed the actor passed away after hitting his head. Now, doctors are raising awareness for the issue. A bump on the noggin can be harmless, but it is important to know when to get checked out following a head injury. A trauma expert with OSF tells us blood thinners and pain relievers such as Advil can make head trauma worse. If a patient is on certain medications, getting checked out after an injury is always a good idea.
The hospitals are great now. We recognize that just like a heart attack, we recognize the risk of these type of injuries, and we can rapidly assess them. You know, CAT scans, they take 5 minutes, especially when you're just talking about the CAT scan of a head. We can take a look at somebody and get them situated pretty quickly.
It's not known what Bob Saget hit his head on. His family suspects it was a headboard at the hotel he was staying in. There was a bruise visible on his head. Time's running out to get your Valentine something special.
Everybody wants flowers, and they are a hot commodity on Monday.
After the break, the rush florists face and why you might have to dig a little deeper into your pocket for the perfect bouquet. A State Line grocery store robbery lands 2 people in the hospital, 2 others behind bars. We recap the early morning attack coming up at 6.
And temperatures got well into the 40s today, but tomorrow morning we're waking up to single digits. I'll break down all the details on how soon the warmth comes back in just a few minutes.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team with Eric Wilson, Mimi Murphy, Scott Leber, and meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
Just in case you forgot, Valentine's Day is Monday. Nationwide and here at home, florists are scrambling to fill orders. That's the case at Broadway Florist in Rockford. If you're still in the market for some flowers, be ready to pay a little bit more than you're used to. Supply chain issues and flower shortages have driven prices up. Broadway Florist owner Michelle Stocker says she's experienced some of that, but as of today has almost everything in stock. She says not everyone's waiting for the big day.
It started this week. We've had a lot pickup and deliveries throughout the whole week. A lot of people are just wanted out sometime. They're not so specific about it has to be on actual Monday. Let's enjoy it for the weekend type of thing. So the whole week's been pretty busy for us.
When it comes to ordering for your loved ones, shop owners tell us don't wait and order as soon as you can. It's also going to be a busy weekend for area restaurants. On top of Valentine's Day, football fans will be celebrating the Super Bowl Sunday. Coming up at 9 and 10, we'll hear from some of those business owners. They tell us what the weekend means for them. After another high in the 40s, cold air is moving back into the state line. When we return, Jordan Wolf lets us know what to expect for the weekend. That includes another chance for some more snow.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
We had a few snow flurries to light snow showers move through here earlier this afternoon with the cold front that has been coming through as well. Some of these snow showers are picking up just a little bit there in Lee County, just north of Rochelle. A little bit of a drop in visibility with some of these spots when we're seeing these slightly heavier snow showers, but most of these are pretty short-lived and will be moved out pretty quickly here into the evening, just continuing those chances over the next few hours. Our Mercy Health Skytrack cam was picking up some of those snow showers earlier out in the golf course in Freeport, but have since calmed down just a little bit. We are picking up some snow showers according to our sky conditions in Rockford, Janesville, and Monroe, however, but look at this temperature gradient here. 32 in DeKalb, compare that to 24 out in Galena. That's not even as shocking as it was earlier. We're seeing this cold front moving through, bringing temperatures really far down, and wind speeds are picking up as well. Right now they're out of the west-northwest at about 20 to 25 miles an hour. So definitely some breezy conditions out there here this evening. Wind gusts picking up as well. Rockford reporting nearly a 40-mile-per-hour wind gust at the present moment. So definitely seeing some of those breezier conditions, and therefore wind chills playing a factor once again. 19 in DeKalb, where it's less windy and less cold, but 9 out in Galena. So that just tells you what we are going to be dealing with across all of the state line here into the next few hours. Temperatures tonight will be dropping pretty significantly, near 30 by about 6 p.m., dropping all the way down. By the time that we get to tomorrow morning, single digits for the early part of the morning tomorrow and tomorrow afternoon, only getting up into the teens. Let's check out Futurecast here. We're seeing all these snow showers really pushing out of the way, holding on to a chance of those through about midnight, and we'll clear out just a little bit. Our temperatures will drop pretty significantly. This overdoes it just a little bit. I do think we'll get down just into the single digits, but not quite as significant as this. Tomorrow, temperatures back up into the upper teens. And then tomorrow night, again, another cold night back down into single digits with lots of cloud cover pushing through the rest of the day. Wind gusts playing a factor once again. Right now, we're seeing those reported wind gusts right around this 25 to 30. They will be continuing through the early part of the morning tomorrow. Will drop off significantly into the afternoon tomorrow, however, and with another system moving through in a couple days. Wind chills dropping down well below zero for the early part of the morning, and they don't get much better for the afternoon, only back up into the single digits through the rest of the day. Still holding on to those cold wind chills for the early part of Sunday as well. To recap tonight, temperatures 9 degrees for the low here in Rockford, with that chance for flurries early, then a little bit colder for the evening. Tomorrow, only up into the teens for the afternoon high. A little bit of sunshine potentially there for the later part of the afternoon, but it will definitely feel much colder. Temperatures today up to the 40s, but tomorrow and through the rest of the weekend back down near 20. Monday we start the warming trend. We get actually all the way up near 50 for Wednesday. We take a look at that. That warmth will also be holding on through the rest of next week as well, with above average temperatures predicted by the Climate Prediction Center. We look at the 7-day forecast, a slight chance for flurries tomorrow. Cold temperatures for the rest of the weekend, but then we warm up, getting near 50 for Wednesday. That next system, though, we're keeping an eye on, brings our temperatures right back down heading into next weekend.
And that close to 50-degree temperatures there just to kind of mess with us, then it drops all the way back down to the 20s again. Jordan, thanks. Scott Lever's next to talk sports. A Rockford native is now on the Chicago Bears coaching staff. Scott gives us his reaction to that news. And can the Bengals cap off their surprising playoff run by winning the Super Bowl?
Now sports with sports director Scott Lever.
Dean Lowry and James Robinson haven't been the only Rockford guys in the NFL the last couple seasons. Guilford graduate Carlos Polk was on the coaching staff with the Jaguars last season as an assistant special teams coach. Well, since the Jaguars are starting over with a new head coach in Doug Peterson, Polk was looking for a new opportunity, and the Bears are giving it to him. He's been hired to be the Bears' assistant special teams coach. Polk was a special teams standout as a player with the San Diego Chargers. He also played linebacker there for 7 years. He played one season with the Cowboys. And the Bears special teams unit needs a boost, and hopefully Polk can instill the same passion for special teams in the Bears players that he played with. Polk was a beast at Guilford, probably the best high school defensive player I've seen in Rockford. He had 453 career tackles for the Vikings, and he was an all-state player before going on to play at Nebraska. It is great to see our Rockford guy now become a part of the Bears organization, especially during a Bears reset. All right, we're down to one NFL game this season, the one with the Roman numerals that happens Sunday evening, the Rams and the Bengals. The Rams being in the Super Bowl is not a big surprise, but the Bengals being in the big game, well, that is. They had to get through the AFC's #1 seed, Tennessee. Then they had to get past Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Have the Bengals just gotten hot at the right time, or are they really this good? I think it's a little of both. Their passing game is as good as any in the NFL. Joe Burrow has ice water in his veins. His receiving core of Jamar Chase, Tyler Higbee, and Tyler Boyd is the best trio of wideouts in the NFL. And Joe Mixon is a playmaker running back. On top of that, the rookie kicker, Evan McPherson, doesn't miss. He is 12 for 12 in field goal attempts in the playoffs. I think the Rams have more talent overall on their roster, but man, are they mistake-prone. They cause a lot of self-inflicted wounds. So I'm going with Burrow's boys in this one. The Bengals will beat the Rams 27-24 on an Evan McPherson field goal. That's my take. We'll be right back.
Jordan will have a final look at weather in a moment, but first, here's what's coming later on News Nation.
New signs point to an invasion of Ukraine, how U.S. intelligence suggests Russia could strike sooner than expected. Plus, the empty shelves crisis claims its next victim, chicken wings, how the shortage could impact you on game day. That's On Balance. Here's Dan.
Thanks, Leland. Tonight on Dan Abrams Live on News Nation. Fans behaving badly, why sports fans are duking it out in the stands, and what the NFL can do to break it up. And some of the most insane prop bets being placed for the big game. That's tonight on Dan Abrams Live.
That's all coming up on the fastest growing cable news network in America. Watch News Nation on any of the channels you see here, online. Check out newsnation.com. Today was kind of misleading. We were in the low 40s. It was relatively warm on the thermometer, but we had a lot of wind. It didn't feel that way, and it didn't stay that way very long because now we're in a nosedive when it comes to temperatures.
Yeah, absolutely. We're already about halfway back down towards single digits where we'll end up for the early part of tomorrow morning. We're dealing with some snow flurries as well with the passage of these couple of cold fronts. That's our First Warn interactive radar from Rockford Auto Glass. You can see those snow flurries moving through. Chances for those continue through about midnight tonight. Then we'll push out, but colder temperatures will remain for a couple of days, Saturday and into Sunday. That's when we're dealing with those much colder temperatures. Another slight chance for some flurries tomorrow as well, but luckily we gradually warm through the early part of next week, 31, 38. Look at that, near 50 for Wednesday with a chance of rain. And that's part of a weather system that brings our temperatures right back down, something to watch heading into next weekend.
Yeah, then 2 mornings after that down to 10 degrees. Thanks, Jordan. And thank you for spending time with us. Stay safe.